and good evening all. Thanks for joining. It's nice to be back in the seat. I missed it last week. Hope everyone's all right. Let's have a little look at how we're getting on. All right, so I need to start monitoring the chats. Hey Duffy, and hello A Phillips. Thanks for joining. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Oh, we got Patrick as well. I need to take one of those out. It's a little bit difficult with earbuds playing music in. Okay, so I hope you've all been keeping well in the lockdown. It's been busy times here at old White Dragon Miniatures HQ in the recording studio tonight for a little bit of a laugh and some nice things to show off. Some little bits and bobs have come back from the painter, which I'm super happy about. So you get to have a first little dibs look at what's to come. So that's very exciting. We've got a little chat feature available in the YouTube side of things. Sadly, it's not integrated into Facebook, so if you're asking questions on Facebook, I cannot check, unfortunately. Alright, let's get rid of that. Boop, boop, boop. So yeah, if you've got any questions, then feel free to fire away. I may be a little bit slower answering Facebook because I don't have the window open directly. But if you want to jump over to YouTube, the link's there. Please do jump on over. Okay, so what have I been up to? Quite a lot of 3D printing. Again, if you're new to the video stream, part of White Dragon Miniatures is doing a lot of 3D master printing for other companies, which is very good. You know, get to see some rather cool miniatures and stuff, and get them printed off in a nice high quality and sent off to the clients. You've probably got some of my stuff that's not White Dragon Miniatures, so yeah, that's pretty happy as can be. Been checking out a few little bits. For a little bit of my interest is plastic injection moulding. It's one of the directions that I would absolutely love to go with White Dragon. I actually studied a CNC machining course. It was a couple of years ago now. It was a little night class at college, and just learning all about CNC and using both lathes and milling machines. So I've got some plans and ideas to have a go with some injection moulding, which is super exciting. Only, kind of small scale to begin with. I'm not going to be taking on the Light Games Workshop overnight, but practice makes perfect. So I've got that I've been doing a bit of planning and getting things researched a little bit for it, shall we say. So we're getting there overall. I'd like to have something in place this year to have a play around with, not to have any products or anything made. You never know, could be pretty quick. But to have just some little samples and test pieces made and to play with, so we will see. Here he is, Monsoir Huntley. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoy the quality. I've been working quite hard on getting this one rocking. So I've got that to look forward to. What else has been going on? I'll be able to do an episode very soon with regards to Shattered Void, which is the space dogfighting combat game. It's been a little bit of on the back burner. It's not on the back burner. I'm basically going to be listing everything up on the web store, but I'm just waiting for the display models to be to arrive back to be photographed, so I can finish the listings on the web store because one of the things that I say pledged, but I don't want to introduce renders onto the web store. I want to have fully painted miniatures, basically like the Taliban are a kind of prime example there, that all the miniatures are fully painted to a very nice high display standard. So that's the approach that I'm having with the company going forward, is only painted miniatures get introduced. So I'm working through and having the back catalogue painted up to then start removing either renders or the resin photos of them, but it all takes a bit of time, so yeah, just bear with me on that one. But when it's all done, it should look pretty swanky, so I'm really looking forward to having that. Do let me know if the audio's okay. I've had a new microphone, if you haven't been able to tell. It's a little shotgun microphone, so it's actually just sat off camera just a little bit, rather than having the condenser microphone that I have, which is, well, probably can't see it very well, but it's just here in the dark. So I'm just going to use that now for when I'm on the PC, I think, and just have this is my little streaming corner now. So we've got a few little new bits. One of them is a swanky little camera, so if I jump over to camera 3, then you'll see. So I've got it's called a PTZ camera, point, tilt, zoom. So it means that I can actually just move the camera around and zoom into whatever we want, which is pretty cool. So it's got quite a good little zoom function. Let it just focus in. The only thing I have to keep remembering is that it works on the opposite. It doesn't move right as you're looking at it. Right moves right as you're looking at the camera, not through the camera. So yeah, that's pretty fun. So yeah, see what I mean? I keep pressing the wrong way because you're just like looking at the camera. So yeah, we've got that to play with, which is pretty fun. I've got the ability to have a little picture-in-picture pop up, so we can pop me up in the corner. Woo! Brilliant. Oh, cheers, Patrick. That's great. Thank you very much. We've also got a fun little chat feature, actually. So what I can do, and this is why it's probably worth getting over to YouTube if you can and you want to interact. I've got a little pop-up chat feature, so it means that I can actually select people's comments in YouTube, and they can pop up on the screen. So yeah, super happy with that. So there you go, Patrick. There you are. Perfect. So yeah, if you've got questions, then we can pop them up, and I can answer them for you. And it also means that people watching can see what's going on as well. So yeah, it's been an interesting kind of couple of weeks. I didn't stream last week because I was just absolutely shattered. One thing I'm a bit of a fiend for is ruining my sleep pattern, so I just end up staying up and working, and then before I know it, it's literally like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm crawling into bed and then getting up at like midday, and it just really ruins it. So I had quite a lot of work on last week, which just totally wrecked my sleeping pattern. So unfortunately didn't go ahead as I kind of wanted to. I think I woke up about 7 o'clock, I think, in the evening, and I didn't have time to prepare everything, so I just decided not to. But it also means that this time I've had a little bit of today to be able to be ready and prepare for the stream today. So so we got some little pop-ups. So obviously on Facebook, smash us a little like and a share of the stream, but also on YouTube, let's get onto that subscribe button. I want to try and build the YouTube profile up a little bit more, get some videos. Some of the content that I am looking to plan is kind of like high-end product release videos. I've got some ideas. I've got some equipment that I'm looking at getting to be able to do that, which is quite exciting. Yeah, just I try and do kind of as high end as I can. So super happy with how the stream's looking and performing now. If you keep looking at me looking over to the left, it's because I've got a multi-view, so I can monitor all the cameras and sound levels and make sure the stream's all okay. So I just keep having a little look to see what's going on. I don't know if I'll be able to move the camera around to show you kind of what's going on, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll do that another episode. Actually, I'll give you a little tour of the stream. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm sure most of you know that's the website. So if you want to pop along and support the company a little bit, then you can do. So got to get a few things back in stock. I've got obviously with the lockdown at the minute, it's a little bit difficult to get down to the unit at the beginning of the week. My partner, she has to work, and so then obviously we've got our little one Sophie to be looking after. So we share that through the day. So it's normally at the end of the week that I go down, and that also is then dependent upon the printing work I'm doing as well. So it all kind of goes hand in hand together. Okay, so who is ready for the first little show off? Now what I'm going to do is, let me just get something set up on here. Okay, so now that should all be right there. There we go. Right, so this is the first little show off of the night, which I'm super happy to be introducing to you. And it is the first pack of the Israeli Defence Force. So yeah, let's whack them bad boys up. So I can put myself up in the corner, so you can still see me if needs be. So there they are. So that's just squad pack 1 there, which same as along all the kind of lines of the other Courage in Contact packs, which is 4 models in a pack. There you go, look, I'll pop up in the corner. There we go. Yeah, so we've got the 4 packs all together. Sorry, the 4 models together in each pack. So yeah, super happy with how they've all been coming out. You want to see we showed the Mastiff off on the last show. Yeah, that was I mean, I can fetch it. It's just over there next to my computer. So yeah, they were super happy with them. There is actually 3 different head types that come with the models as well. So you've got them with I can have a Ms. Fanat or something, the little helmet cover's called, and then I've also got them with a bear helmet. In fact, I might. No, I don't have any in front of me. There's basically 2 other kind of regular helmet types that they have that come with them as well. So, as I was mentioning on the stream previously, there is going to be a new way that the models come, which is with the heads removed. But in the pack you get all 3 of the different head types. Oh, okay, so we have a little question come up from Patrick, so let's have a little look what Patrick asks. Will it be a mixture of male and female soldiers? Yes, Patrick, it will. I don't know if you have been able to tell, but this little lady that's coming round now, well, is a lady. So yes, there are females included in all the packs, and as I swap over the packs and show you some more, you'll see more, which is obviously super cool, and it was one of the things I was looking forward to doing when the IDF came around to be done, is the fact that there are active female soldiers. So yeah, it was something a little bit different and quite exciting to kind of have in the range. So yeah, I think I'm just trying to think how many there are altogether. I'll have to double check, but I think there's about 6 in a set of 24. So quite a good little ratio there as well. So yeah, so hope you you quite like those. I'm super excited. There's also it doesn't show it off in these models, but they can also be equipped. Well, there's a different set of bodies that have the M4, which is still in regular service with the IDF, mainly with the kind of paratrooper formations. So there are again options to have either the M4s or Travors. Oh, okay, we got another little question. If you see my little picture-in-picture disappear and then the chat pop up, it's just a limitation of what I'm using. I can't show both at the same time. So there we go. Right then, so we now have a little question from Crichton number 5. These are very cool, great job. Would the female IDF ever inspire you to do some female Brits? Yes. Yeah. The thing with the current releases for the British is that, it's a limitation of the British Army that, or certainly at the time that they were deployed to the theatre of war that the Courage and Contact British models are, there was no frontline serving females. And when I say that, I mean in the infantry. Now, there were dog handlers and there were people in REME and EOD and the medics who were females. So they will be elements that will be added to support the platoon. So basically the way that Courage in Contact is kind of planned is you've got the main platoon, which is what is currently out and released, and then it starts to add on the support elements that would then be seen working in cooperation with like a platoon or a multiple out in the field. So you'll then obviously have D Company, which will then add the fire support elements, which some of you've already seen that will be coming. You've also then got potentially EOD. You've got medics working at a company level. You've also got search dogs and teams. So there'll be some other things that will be coming along. Look at like some civilian contractors and just basically anything that would be on the ground with a platoon supporting a platoon or a platoon protecting will be the way that the range kind of flurries out, and there'll be releases over time. And I say the same with the Taliban. There's not really much that kind of supports them, but the idea with those is to then look at doing some civilians, some Afghan National Police, and just other elements that would be within the kind of vicinity of an operation going ahead. So yeah, plenty planned with all of that. So yeah, good question, that one. Yes, you will in limited roles. You will see females, not as kind of widely as in the IDF, but there will be some, definitely, 100%. Ooh, now this is always a good question. Another one from Patrick regarding the IDF. Do you have any idea when they will be available to purchase on the website? I would love to be able to give a firm date, but the problem that I always face is the timings. It's only a little, one-man band. I have kind of, a lot to do, so it's balancing it all together. There is a second wave of IDF that I'd ideally like to wait for before release, before getting them out onto the market, and then that way it'll be like the British kind of deployed. There will be, a wave of packs all together, coming out in one go. So yeah, it's I can't give a firm date just yet, but it is one that I will, kind of work as fast as I can to get them going. The Mastiff will probably be the next release. Again, I'm hoping to have that up on pre-order in a couple of weeks. That's currently the casts are ordered, and the etch brass is ordered for it, and the painted show model to do all the photography is underway. So as soon as those, like three elements all come together, that will be it then up for, kind of pre-order. Well, basically, as soon as the painted version comes back, I will be straight up to look at photography of that and getting the listing up on the website. Then it's just then like a little waiting game for the parts, the castings and the etch brass, and then as soon as those two components are together, then anyone who's pre-ordered them, they'll be shipped out, and then it'll be on, I say general sale, but just normal release at that point. And then it'll be looking at the British D Company elements coming out. Might have the Taliban, the little Dushka and stuff ready then too, so that'll probably all come together, and then it will be basically the IDF will be on their way. So yeah. Yeah, Sam. Yeah, man. I'd love to say they're my paint jobs, but yeah, I just do like a dip and shake. It's abysmal. In fact, I could put one of my painted models on that little roundabout, so you'll have a bit of a giggle, to be fair. So yeah, let's have a little look at what else we've got. So that's exactly what I was hoping for. Medics and obviously female soldiers used to search and took female civilians. Cracking, yep. One of the ones that is penciled in is a female dog handler with a little Springer Spaniel. So that one's, going to be pretty cool. I love Springer Spaniels. In fact, when I was on my first tour of Iraq, Octalic 6, we had a little search dog who would come out with us with his dog handler, and we used to call him Gummy because he'd lost all of his teeth from picking up training weapons, or finding pipes and stuff like that, for as part of his training. Basically just took all his teeth out over time, so he just had this little gummy bite, which was super cute. So yeah, looking forward to that. Oh, here we go, another one. Cool, looking forward to it. Are you planning to do packs of Hamas commandos or Hezbollah soldiers? Well, it's quite an interesting one, in the sense of not specifically of those. One of the plans is to look to do ISIS and more. Yeah, it would fall within that realm of kind of Hezbollah, ISIS. It's more your kind of, I say Western dressed soldier, but kind of what you saw with the Caliphate and stuff like that is, wearing tracky bottoms, flip flops, camo jacket with some webbing, toting a little broken AK or something. That will be the kind of next phase that's looked at, so that they'll fall both within being able to use as Hezbollah and also as ISIS or any other kind of modern Middle Eastern fighting faction. The Taliban are obviously very kind of stylized in their traditional dress, and it's not very often that they'll be toting some tracksuits and stuff like that. So it's one that they are planned, but not specifically Hezbollah. One thing within that I'd like to look to do is some more kind of professionally trained soldiers within that, which probably would form into the kind of commandos a little bit more, and they will then be, I think we'll jump back to me now, they will then be a little bit more clued up in their kind of clothing and equipment, which is really a lot of it is a lot of fun to kind of research and figure out what's going on. There is a little surprise pack that's planned. I'm not going to give any words on it, but I've chatted to the sculptor about it and had a bit of a brief going on for it. But yeah, let's just say it's a little bit of tongue in the cheek and a little bit of fun, poking a little bit of fun at things. So yeah, I'm can't wait to show that one off in due course. So that's super exciting. Within the company, I shouldn't probably really say this, but there's a lot of releases that are awaiting to come out. Things in the background have been very busy over the period of time. Some of you may know of the Kickstarter, the Shattered Void Kickstarter, that was an interesting one. Almost put me to the edge of sanity, and just very stressful. Some things fell outside of my hands of being able to kind of sort initially, but persevered, fulfilled the Kickstarter, and so the next stages are then obviously getting it prepped and ready to be shown off to the kind of general public, and taking it up and beyond the the Kickstarter and progressing the game as well. So two kind souls have come forward and have an interest in the rules, so I've got to have a little chat with those, and starts kind of steering the game going forward and progressing that. So that's another thing that's on the kind of to-do list. I think this time round, though, I won't prepare the rule book. There's not many things in the company that I don't do, and with Shattered Void I ended up doing all the layout and preparing everything for the rule book, which was very time consuming, very tiring, and I think this time round I will probably look at getting a professional, a freelancer to sit and look to do all the layout and prep of the book. It won't be going to print. It's just a PDF live rule book, but still, people don't want a Word document, so it's nice to have like a kind of full colour book. Which, if Alex is watching, I'm sure he can confirm. So there's basically releases for everything at the minute. There's 15mm models galore to increase that range. There is a load of Courage in Contact releases coming now, and there is also then obviously all the Shattered Void models there as well. So yeah, plenty to look forward to. There's also terrain, but there's a bit of an issue with terrain at the minute. Basically, it's a way up between the weight of a product and the time to produce a product. To create something that is solid and heavy is easy, but it costs an absolute ton to ship because it's just a solid piece of resin. So looking and experimenting with ways to make a lighter piece. Well, I have a method of making a lighter model to be shipped for kind of bulkier scenery pieces, but it's quite timely to produce, and it's that kind of way up of having the time to make the volume that's required to having the it's basically down to where's my time best spent, casting the miniatures or casting the scenery, because generally the price of scenery isn't a lot. People aren't necessarily willing to pay a lot of money for scenery, so the fact then that it actually takes longer to produce than the miniatures theoretically should be a higher price, but people wouldn't pay that price. So it's one that I currently have to weigh up, and my time is just better casting miniatures and trying to keep those in stock. So I'm looking and researching a way of a kind of fast and effective method of producing lightweight castings for scenery. So yeah, it's just kind of watch this space a little bit and see how we go. But yeah, there's a range of stuff for those that I'd love to get released, but I'm a bit hesitant in kind of spending the time in trying to get them released, because they're either going to be heavy and expensive or light but very long to make. So I need to solve and bridge that issue before I kind of go on kind of any further. So yeah, okay, right, bear with me for just a second and I will prepare the next little show off for you. So I should have made a little holding screen really, shouldn't I? Well, I kind of did. I've got a be right back screen, but well, I'll only be a minute. Okay, there we go, we're back. Nice and quick. Right, so once again we now have the second pack of not Brits, geez, I'm getting that one quite wrong, aren't I? Of the IDF. So let's jump on in and have a little look. It's quite funny in a way, the IDF. They're not exactly the most, exciting colours. Let me pop me up in the corner again. Yeah, it's one that was quite funny, doing all the research and preparing for them. That this is just green. So I had a lot of fun with Matt Kennedy, who painted them. Top guy, by the way. And it was kind of like a lot of backwards and forwards of different shades of green, and yeah, it was. I think Matt has had enough of greens at the minute, bless him. So yeah, but they look fantastic. Super happy. Obviously Matt also painted the Taliban, which he does an absolutely sterling job with those there as well. Oh, Patrick, yeah, nice. Really difficult to get the right colours for IDF uniforms. Yeah, one thing that I did want to do was put together like little paint sets for the different factions, and I'm still looking too, but the problem is that getting colour matches is notoriously difficult. Yeah, just really, really. Oh, what's that on? It's my... Yeah, yeah, that's where he's from. He's from up that way. That was just a comment. It's Matt Dunnos. Ace is a lovely guy. He used to be a regular in GW Glasgow. Great painter. He is. He's a very good painter. He actually won a Slayer sword a couple of years ago. So yeah, he's really not a bad painter at all, to say the least. So really, really lucky to have him working on these, and he just does such an amazing job. And so yeah, can't wait to have the whole kind of squad and the reinforcements finished and painted up. So yeah, it all comes together really, really nicely. I don't know if he's actually got a painting page. I'll have to I'll ask him, and if he does, I'll pop a link up for so people can go over and follow his work. But yeah, top guy, really, really worth going in and seeing what he does. So yeah, again with these ones, they then have the options for the M4s as well. Basically all the models, there's two different bodies. One is with like either the Tavor or the M4. Some of the other weapons like the Negev, they are the same in both, but all the other options have M4 variants, and then there's the 3 different head types that come with them. So there's essentially 6 different models that could be kind of put together. So yeah, super exciting. The bodies aren't like interchangeable in the sense of that you'll get both the M4 and the Tavor in each pack. You will pick which kind of body you want, but you'll get all 3 heads. And the reason for that is because the arm positions on the weapons are different, so the bodies had to change slightly to accommodate that side of things. So that's basically how it was kind of best devised to put it all together. So yeah, it's coming along really nicely. Okay, so yeah, we got those little bad boys. I could actually put the Taliban on in a bit after these. I think I've not made a little title for them, the little lower third that crops up on the screen. Well, down here. So yeah, but it's one of my little preparation things for the stream, is to get things like that ready. Okay. Right, so yeah, well, one thing I was kind of going to ask on the stream is, what kind of thing would you like to be seeing on the stream? The little model chopping up and preparing seemed quite popular, which I can look to do some more of that. I'd prefer it to cool down a little bit, because the problem is I have to have my beast of a computer on, and that kicks out some heat after some time. And just because of the nature of streaming and recording, I need to kind of minimise the noise, so I can't have the window open or even the fan on or anything like that. So the heat builds up in this place pretty darn quickly, especially on a hot sunny day. Luckily, the kind of past week it's been a bit rainy, so yeah, if we kind of get that weather again, then definitely be up for looking and doing a bit of that, because it's quite relaxing actually. But we'll just see on that front. I had kind of planned to do painting, but out of the whole kind of hobby, it's probably the thing I like the least. Love building models. I'm like Moldline's worst enemy, because I'll just destroy it. get it gone. I hate visible mould lines on models, and love building models. Complicated plastic kits always a joy. Painting is a no-no. Army building, love it. Love the whole kind of looking at synergies and things that will just work together beautifully, and just planning tactics, although we all know that the best laid plans don't survive contact. I can tell you that for real. And love playing games, not that I ever get time to these days, but it's one that I'm trying to reclaim a kind of little bit of hobby time back, and that part of what I'm doing now is meant to be that kind of thing, is to have a little bit more hobby time. Oh, Aaron's asked, when are they out? Don't have a specific release date right now, but it's one that I look to get them out kind of ASAP. Once the second half of them is sent over from the sculptor, that's when it will really start to become real at that point. So getting them all out together. So yeah, there's a little bit more to be done yet, but we're progressing. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of show these guys to you, and let you start frothing at the bit for them, because they are pretty darn spectacular. So yeah, just be a little bit patient. They are coming along with some other goodies. Some of you may have seen some of the tanks if you've been lucky to see them at past shows. So basically at the minute, from a vehicle side of things, there is the Macarva Mark IV that I've got, which also has a trophy active defence system. There is the Macarva Mark III, Macarva Mark II, and the Macarva Mark I. So there's quite a few, obviously good options there. And then there is also the Namer infantry fighting vehicle as well to go alongside them. So, kind of the idea is to get the Namer and the Mark IV out ASAP, because they obviously back these troops up really, really nicely. And then look to then release the older generations of the Macarva, which some people will obviously then want and have in their forces, especially if they're going to be toting the M4s, because they would fit more in with the older generations of the armoured vehicles. So yeah, there's those to come as well. I'm just trying to plot and plan what I want to do next for the British. One of the ones that is planned is the Ridgeback, which is the four-wheeled version of the Mastiff. That's a kind of an obvious route to go, I'd probably say. It's a very similar vehicle, but it's not just a quick and easy job of just slicing the back end of it off. It's got to be test printed and then have etched brass samples done to ensure that that's fitting nicely. So yeah, it's all just kind of rinse and repeat, and because ultimately I want you guys and girls, the customers, to have kind of the best quality that can look to put out for you, and that takes a little bit of time and effort and money on one thing, but you're not too worried about that. That's my problem to have is the cost that it is to make these things. Right, let's jump on over to back over to my lovely little face. So over onto there, and then what I'll do is I will prepare the next little show and tell. Yeah, Patrick. Yeah, I mean, it's funnily enough, the vehicles were done before the infantry models. Bizarrely enough, I've had the IDF tanks for quite a while. So yeah, I've got a lot to do. Let's just put it that way. I need a member of staff. I really do. If anyone wants to come and work for me, then yeah, that's something that I'll have to look at in due course. Yeah, I've just got just so much to kind of do, and I can't knock it. The 3D printing work I do is great, and it does, I say, pay the way. So obviously that's something that's very good and beneficial. So Patriot IDF vehicles, great. There's a real gap in the market for those at the moment in 28mm, 148, 150. Good news. Yep, so super happy. It's a little bit controversial, but just so you know and you clarify with it, the vehicles I make are actually 156, and that is the scale of the models. I'm not a big understander of the 150 scale miniature. It's not the scale. I don't know. It's just the way I feel about it. So the things that I push out and push forward are 156 to go with the models. Some people say that these look too small, but no, that's the the way that they are. They're just made from the measurements, scaled down, and out we go into the wild. So be a judge of your your own mind. I'm happy with if people don't agree with what I may put forward, and I'm happy that I don't agree with what they put forward, and that's it really. So yeah, we'll see. I'm just over the moon about the range overall. It's doing well. People are very happy with what they receive, and that's my priority, is just kind of keeping the quality of what I do going forward up and high, which is quite interesting actually. Brings me onto a bit of a curveball, but there could be something, I'm not going to disclose anything at the minute, but something very interesting coming down the line, to a point of a quality that you will have never have seen on a retail kind of product. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more now, but and even if you question me on it, I'm not going to give you any more information on it. But there's just some little things going on in the background that have some very, very interesting potential, and yeah, could be a first for the industry maybe. So we'll see. Okay, right, so let me do the old lean over and disappear, and we will get the final ones up and ready. Okay, nice quick little intermission. Duffy, I've got to pop that comment up. I've got to have that comment up. Whee! Well, if you're only semi there, then prepare for the raging beast, because it's about to arrive. So yeah, a little bit of reveal time now on pack 3. Oof. In fact, I want to be up in the corner. Oh yeah. So there we go. So here we go. Yeah, all the gear, no idea. Yep, so there's the third female soldier. She is toting a 7.62. Well, it's called a Negev 7, which is a 7.62. There's two versions of the Negev, a 5.56 and a 7.62. So yeah, she's got that beast of a gun. I think one of the things that I really enjoyed with the IDF is that they all wear backpacks, kind of as part of the standard equipment. which is one thing that I say the British don't, but dismounts. So the ones that are currently released are the dismounts of the vehicles, Foxhounds and Mastiffs, and maybe other vehicles in the future. But I do actually have a set of foot patrol guys as well. So they need to be released. We're having a little chat last time about kind of why they're not released. But hopefully sooner than later, let's just kind of put it that way, is the way that I'm looking toward and working on it. So yeah, that's then Squad 3. So that's essentially halfway through where I want to be with them. Ooh, now then, let's pop this one up. Will snipers follow? Right, I'm going to pop me back up. So, this is an interesting one, because if you try and research the composition of a Israel Defense Force platoon, or I can't remember the name of it in Hebrew. It's on like Wikipedia, you can kind of find it. But if you to try and find what the composition of a section, the equipment that they carry and everything like that is nigh impossible. I'm not going to disclose too much, but I have been able to find out some elements within it, and so I've kind of looked to put the packs together to kind of reflect the start of a composition of a platoon. There are snipers, yes, they will be coming in due course, but there's some other elements within the platoon that need to look and address as well. So it's just a hell of a lot more different than the British or Americans or most kind of Western fighting formations are. So yeah, it's working on kind of little snippets of information as well, to piece together kind of how they should form and look. So yeah, it'll be like with the kind of British in a way. There will be those other elements there. I mean, but in this case, a platoon does actually have a sniper in it. So yeah, they will be coming in due course. Okay, let's pop up the chat. Patrick says it varies between regiments, if I remember correctly. Yes, that's one of the things that does. There's a number of kind of factors that put that kind of all together. So one of the things I'm trying to do is kind of make something that's a little bit more standard, so that you could build specific elements how you want them down the line. So yeah, there's one pack that's almost finished. I need to have a catch up with Rob, sculptor guy. Again, top bloke, surrounded by top blokes in this industry. So I need to have a little chat with good old Rob and see what's going on that front. He is a busy man. So, but there is a pack that I really had a lot of fun putting the design brief together, and can't wait to see the finished product, and even more so, can't wait to see the printed models and then the painted models, and then your reactions to the finished models. So it's all fun pipeline in the end. We get there all together. So yeah, that's basically where we're at the minute with the 3 packs. So 12 models, 3 females. Just super happy, super happy with them. The only thing I've got to do to look to finish them off is, like I did with the Taliban, is pop some little tufts and bits on the bases just to spruce them nicely. And yeah, they're going to be sat good for photography, and yeah, get them rocking and rolling. Can't wait to have them up on the website. So yeah, so like I say, a lot of work, and there's a lot of work to be done, but hopefully in time there will be some interesting news and developments that, as I say, I can't really disclose at the minute, but I will when the time's right, and if all my plans come together. Oh dear. So yeah, okay. Wow, it's been an hour already. I tell you what, time flies on this. Time really does fly. Alright, I think... Should we put the Taliban on? You want to see the Taliban in the same almighty glory that these have been shown off in? I know last time you just saw me little shaky hands holding them. So yeah, let us know if you want to see the Taliban. I'll pop them onto the little turntable with its... specific setup. Yeah, it's quite funny. I don't know. I might be able to show you actually. Let me jump onto camera 3. So let's zoom out a little bit. So this is like the little streaming setup. So there's my little Surface. So that's to monitor chat, and I have to monitor Facebook chat on it the most. Alright, so we're moving around, so you can't really see it there, but there's the camera that's looking at me. I don't know if we're going to get round far enough for you to see the multi-screen. That's my remote controlling the camera. Oh, there we go, yeah. So there you can see the different kind of camera angles of what's going on there as well. So you can see what's happening. And then over to my right. Oh, look, there I am. Oh, what a handsome devil. So just of there, zoom that bad boy in, is where the little turntable's rocking. So yeah, that's my little setup to show these off for you. Quite a bit of fun, really. Oh, I always press the wrong way on that camera. Bloody thing. Let's put that back down onto a little work area. Alright, so let's get the old Taliban prepared. Alright, so I'll show you the IED team first. We'll get those loaded up and on. Ah, dear. Well, these were... Well, I say they were super cool. They're obviously not super cool because they're obviously out to do some nefarious deeds. But I'm super happy with the models coming through. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so let's get those tazzing round. Right, and as I say, sadly I don't have a nice little title to pop up. Oh, could we see the Taliban next to the IDF? Yes, let me just do a couple of spins around of these little bad boys, so you can see them there quite happily spinning around. So yeah, basically got a spotter and guy about to detonate the IEDs. Guy making some videos for propaganda. The actual bomb planter, which, funnily enough, the actual design of the IED was the same as one found that was on Google Images, which is pretty cool. And then the guy ready to, well, I say ready, he's just finished digging the hole for the IED to go in. So yeah, they're super cool, super cool. One of my kind of favourite packs, not from a point of view of what they're kind of doing, horrible little wretches, gonna plant in the bloody you know, sneaky little IED, but just kind of from the point of view of like the set, you know, they just go together so nicely. Well, all the sets go together great, you know, I'm not going to sit and say they don't. But, you know, when you just got guys with totting some AKs and stuff, it's they're just kind of a bit generic, whereas these are really quite themed and fit in together. So yeah, really, really cool. So let me just pop I'll just fulfill the dreams of Patrick. Let me just pop in a couple of IDF guys and just space these out a little bit. I'll just pop a couple in so you can see how they're like. I'll pop the little lady in as well. There we go. In fact, I might as well just pop 4 on. There we go. That should satisfy your needs, Patrick. There we go. So let's Taz those around. So there you go. Right, okay, let's have a little look at a couple of... oh, what's that one? Could we quickly see the first 4 IDF again as I missed them? And then the Taliban. Well, Aaron, you're in luck, because those 4 that I've actually just put on are the first 4 IDF models. So you're well in luck with those. Alright, let's just pop up a couple of chats. So, right. Those dickers look top notch. Between them and the Brit snipers and Mastiff, you might as well just take all my money again. That is the plan. That is the plan, Stuart. All your money belongs to me. Every single penny of it. I'm like a dementor of money, just sapping it out your wallet. So, yeah. Keep feeding me. Keep on feeding me. Alright, let's just see if Aaron comes back with anything. Patrick, great scoops, not commonly done. Yeah. The sculptor, Rob McFarlane, is actually ex-Games Workshop. So he knows his models, and we have I say really good relationship. He's a good, really good friend of mine, and really, really kind of lucky to, know him and have a good laugh with him. But it plays together quite nicely in a way, because I get to put a lot of my, input and knowledge of like firing positions and, just kind of general patrol behaviour, and he gets to put his side of thing of what works as a miniature, because not everything that you think would look cool as an action pose works in a freeze frame miniature form. Probably one of the best examples, not that I'm hating on Infinity, I'm a big Infinity lover, but there was a model they did a while back, I can't remember, it was for Ariadna, and it was an American. What was the I can't remember the model, but it was basically this guy who was kind of running along, but he was like leaned forward, like, and it almost made no sense of what he was trying to do. And they clearly just tried to capture a moment of action in this model, but it literally just looked like he was tripping over, and it just looked wrong essentially. So yeah, there is a bit of backwards and forwards on getting some models looking dynamic but working as a miniature, and I really, really like that, and happy with with Rob's input and what he does. He does an A1 job on the models, absolutely A1. Yeah, as far as I'm sitting concerned, and I will be biased because he sculpts these models, but he's the best miniature sculptor as far as I'm concerned. Amazing guy. So what have we got? Movement is a really difficult thing to bring to life in miniature, as you were saying. Yeah, That's right, Patrick. It I sometimes, you know, wonder if that's kind of understood from a customer point of view. It's very easy to kind of criticise a model, as I've just kind of, you know, demonstrated. There is a bit of reasoning, you know, I did explain myself as to, you know, kind of why. But I think a lot of it is not the intent of trying to make a, you know, a bad miniature. It's just a little bit of maybe not realising its final form. What I'll have to do is some point I'll find the picture of the model, because yeah, it is a little bit of kind of comedy, and you'd see straight away that it just looks odd, you know, really nice sculpt as in the detail on the model, but yeah, just really odd in the kind of the pose. So yeah, we'll see. Right, let's get the Dushka loaded on. So we'll just pop back on over to my beautiful little face for a minute. Do you want the IDF? Do you want the IDF still on, or would you like that to swap over? I can pop some other ones on. It's not a big issue. Right, let's grab those ones off. And let's get the old Dushka baby back. There's only 2 models in this set, so let's get an odd little let's get a little spot up, and then we'll get little lady reloading again. She's one of my favourites. There we go. All right then, let's get these guys rocking. All right, let's jump on back over. So there's the back of old Dushka baby. Yeah, it's nice little bit of heavy firepower for the Taliban, I think. Well deserved. Firing some hate from a distance down onto the FOB. Yeah, really nice. It was quite funny with the Dushka actually, because there's so many images of the Dushka in different like I say stances. Like there's ones with the tripod facing the other way, so that the kind of front leg is, you know, further back. Different sight systems, different ammo containers, you know, like there's just so many different options, and maybe we'll come back and, I say revisit it, but make an alternate version, you know, maybe something a little bit different with its aircraft sights on it or something, just for, you know, a bit of fun, and maybe a belt hanging. But yeah, we'll see. There's always, you know, fun little options and stuff that we can always have a little look at. So yeah, they're really looking spot on. Okay. Oh, Aaron says ahead of the game. Cheers. Yeah, that's it. I'll show you what I like to be. I like to be like that. Finger on the pulse. I'm always there, ready, poised like a striking cobra. Okay. Oh, let's have a look. Patrick's got a comment. The guy handling it has more realistic posture than others I've seen before. Yeah, I mean, again, I think some of the best information we found with it was a video. I think it was actually like a documentary of a guy who followed a Taliban cell. I'll have to find it out. I'll tell you. I'll have to dig it out. I mean, I think what I'd love to do is get a bit more on like Discord and have a little, you know, chat and, have a little chat group and stuff, and be able to share some bits and bobs in the background. Because one thing that I'd love to do is show off photos from like Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff. I don't know, some of my Afghan photos I may have to blank out because we're actually serving alongside some of the SAS. So I don't know if I'd have to kind of cover their faces. But yeah, basically the reason for that is because I was part of a PRT, which is a provincial reconstruction team based up in Mazar Sharif, and we were the soldiers up there, and we had a detachment of SAS that would go out, and our missions were my mission, as just a soldier, was to provide force protection for the officers and civilians to go to meetings with warlords or imams and stuff like that in the different areas. And I've got some amazing kind of like photos and stuff. In fact, it'd be quite interesting to pull up a map and look at showing the kind of routes and where photos were taken, because I honestly believe that if Afghanistan can kind of stabilise and not be like a threat to foreigners, it would be a phenomenal tourist destination. Some of the things that were there, I mean, there was a structure that was built into this hillside, and the interpreter that was with us was explaining that it was constructed by Alexander the Great period as he moved through the area, and it's just it looks like a termite hill, like it's just from a distance it's just this kind of like goes up together, but then inside it's all these little rooms and everything. It honestly looks like a little termite mound, but it was absolutely stunning. I mean, I was 18 at the time. This was my first time I'd ever been abroad, and to see these sights and everything, and it's quite funny actually. I was chatting to Joanna, my partner, the other day, and I was discussing about the time that we travelled down south from Mazar Sharif, past a little town called Shulgra, and it's called the Shulgra Valley because obviously the main village or town there is Shulgra, and we headed up into the Hindu Kush, and the Hindu Kush actually translates to Hindu killer. There you go, a little side fact for you. And so we're up in the lower end of the Hindu Kush, and there's just no artificial light at all. And I was explaining to Joanna about the most amazing sight that my eyes have probably seen in real life, like not just something I've seen on YouTube or on TV or a photo. My own eyes were witness to it, and it was just the array of stars above ahead. I'll never forget it. To this day, it's still kind of awe-inspiring to think about it. Just absolutely stunning. And I remember just laying on my little what they called cot bed in my little sleeping bag, just for hours after I'd finished stag, just looking up at the sky and just watching all these stars. Like, it's just a blanket of stars. You honestly don't realise what you're missing in this country with, or other kind of modern countries, with the number of artificial lights and stuff that there is. And honestly, I look back at it now, and part of me is like, I wish I had some good photography equipment back then to have taken some photos of it, because just you can't even describe like what it's like. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And then the other thing we were actually discussing, because we were having a thunder and lightning storm here, and so we ended up discussing, best kind of lightning storms. And the best lightning storm that ever happened was when I actually arrived in Afghanistan, arrived in Kabul, and we were just in Kabul to acclimatise before we headed up to Mazar Sharif. And the first night being there, you know, just remember going out of the tent that we were in for the night, and just looked out over into the distance, because Kabul is a very high city, it's in the mountains, and just this like wall of cloud in the distance, and then all that you could see is the, you know, the lightning illuminating the clouds in spots. But it was like every couple of seconds, you know, every couple of seconds the clouds would just be lighting, and then you just saw it kind of rolling towards you slowly. And I think it took about an hour for it to, you know, kind of get to us from that position. But I tell you what, the wind that it whipped up and the rain that was coming down and the lightning, oh, it was amazing. Yeah. So yeah, some really interesting, fun little memories. And yeah, I'd love to just be able to flick through some, you know, some photos. In fact, what I'll have to do is sort out, because a lot of the ones from Afghanistan were taken on a like disposable camera, a little, you know, film disposable camera. So I'll have to look at getting them scanned in, scan them in, and then we can do like a little photo slideshow, and I can give you, you know, like a little bit of background and a bit of laughs and stuff of the stories. It will probably bring back some memories, you know, of mine from the entertaining times, and yeah, just some of the funny stories. Which are brilliant times. I look back with quite a bit of fondness. So yeah, we'll see, I think, on that one. I think that'll be a fun episode. So yeah, I've got Afghanistan, Optelic 6 and Optelic 8, which, yeah, definitely got the photos from Afghanistan and Optelic 6. Yeah, so I'll just have to find out the photos for Optelic 8 and then have a little look at those ones. Oh, hold on, we've got a little comment. Let's pop this one up. So again from Patrick, it would be cool to see the planning/research process. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm thinking maybe it would be quite cool to maybe have like a, you know, a bit of a Discord or something. It would be a little bit difficult to sit and do live, I think, because some things can take, you know, quite some time, and it'd be quite interesting to actually have you know, your guys' input into things as well, you know, because you may find some better information than, you know, than I'm able to find, so yeah, we'll have a kind of little look and see. I do have a Discord channel. I'll link it up on Facebook after this, I think. Yeah, and look to get that kind of rolling a little bit more. It's only got a few members, you know, in at the minute, but yeah, look to kind of grow that. So yeah, we will see. Right, I think, unless there's anything else that anybody wants to ask, or if there's any requests, I think I'm going to start to wind the stream down there a little bit. Oh, Mr. Woods has commented on Facebook, painting progressing. David Woods is my favourite military painter. I've praised him on the last episode. He's actually painting the Mastiff. He's kind enough to do a pair of them, actually, which would be great for some, I say promotional photos, but, you know, more scenic photos of like a little convoy or something like that. He's already done 2 foxhounds, which is super cool, and so yeah, look quite snazzy in a some kind of, you know, promotional scenic shots and stuff. Like I say, I've got some plans ahead to make some cool kind of promotional videos. So yeah, I'm massive fan of David's painting. Ever since the first 15mm models that he painted of mine, like, yeah, very close follower of his work, massive fan of what he does, and once again, really sound chap. Got all the time in the world for David. And yeah, I just love to see anything and everything that he paints up. So yeah, especially he's a big fan of 135 scale these days. So I need to sort him out a few more little treats, shall we say, and get him some. Good point, probably. David, would you like a 135 scale Talos? I'll look to sort you one of those out at some point if you want one. You're always more than welcome. The little special editions for David. No one else has allowed them, sadly. So it's all go. It's all, good looking forward. Like I say, this little bit of interesting news. We'll see how it develops, and I will push forward. With more information. I know it's a little bit of a tease. I know, it's so vague, and it's just like, I'm like GW the second, aren't I? With the tiniest of teasers, but it will be very interesting, and it will be very beneficial to you, the customers. So yeah, super excited to see how that progresses, and ultimately, kind of being able to get it and show it off for you all. Which will be a very fun day, let's just put it that way. So yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to kind of show off tonight. It's not everything I wanted to talk about. Jeez, I could just talk the world to death at the minute. It's actually harder than it looks to do a live stream, because, well, I can imagine if you've got like 100 people, there's a lot kind of ticking through. But at times, you're not necessarily talking. I am talking to someone because I'm obviously talking to you guys and girls, which I enjoy. But it's something that you've got to get used to, because I'm essentially just talking to a camera. And so it seems like a little bit weird at times, and yeah, I haven't got my head kind of like fully around that yet. So it's a little bit odd at times. Oh, here we go. What's this is the one that you'll all be looking forward to. Mastiff work in progress photos tomorrow. Well, if David's going to post them up on his blog, I would strongly recommend. In fact, let me pull up. I'm going to drop a link in the chat to David's blog, which is DW Artist, or Dwartist as I always put it. So let me grab a link to his paint blog, and I'll tell you what, people, bookmark this. Bookmark this site, because if you want to see exquisite modern paintings and, well, hard sci-fi paint jobs, David is your man. So I'm going to drop it in there, and then let me drop it onto Facebook as well for you, David. I'm sure I can comment on this thing as White Dragon. Yep. So let's drop that link in there. Pop along and view that, because I will tell you now, it is one of the best painting blogs that you will follow. Just amazing. Just scroll through David's work. It's top stuff. You've got a Facebook page as well, haven't you, David? I think, is it linked from your blog? I could have really posted that as well, but yeah, if you just search for DW Artist or Dwartist, as I've always referred to it, it will pop up. And yeah, brilliant work. So yeah, super looking forward to seeing that. That's a happy step in the right direction to getting that bad boy released. So yeah, awesome. Right then. So I think overall that's it for this episode. I've got to plan what I want to do next week. It's quite difficult to plan and check what I want to do. Maybe I'll show off some Shattered Void ships or something next week. I've got got a few here that can have and show off, so they can go on the turntable. But that's the thing, I don't actually have them all currently painted, which is why they're currently with the painter. So you got things like this, although the light doesn't really do it all that much justice. So yeah, that's one of the Vitruvian ships. So yeah, maybe show some of those off a little bit, and yeah, plan a few bits and bobs for that. There's always some cool fun stuff to be doing. But yeah, I've got to have a little think as to whether I want to do kind of painting on the stream. Like I say, it's not really my kind of strong point, and I'd be forcing it if I was perfectly honest. I do want to do some hobby board building, which that kind of does interest me. They're down at the unit at the minute, but I've got a load of 3D printed houses, some little adobes and stuff like that. So I'd love to start making a kind of Afghan Middle Eastern board and making some compounds and stuff. I've actually brought some equipment, cool little foam cutter and foam and bits to get started on that. So maybe something like that. Just got to sort out a few more bits to make it kind of happen, and yeah, see what's what, and just basically start previewing some more stuff that's on its way. I need to print a few of my own things out, so I can look to get those up and listed on the stream as well. So yeah, we'll get there, but I think that will do. So thank you for tuning in tonight. I hope it's provided you a bit of entertainment and you've had some hobby time, yourself. And yeah, should be back next week with some more good stuff from White Dragon Miniatures. Don't forget to get on and smash that like button, and also jump over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. The link is just above me on Facebook. So please do come over and subscribe. It will help. As I say, I want to grow the channel and work more toward streaming on YouTube. The reason for that is because actually YouTube's streaming is a better quality. It supports 1080p and 60 frames per second that this has been streamed at, whereas if I think right, Facebook only supports 720 at 30 frames per second. So yeah, if you just want a better quality stream, YouTube is the better option. It also means that if you ask questions, like I've been doing, I can display them along here on the stream, which is quite nice, because then it means that everybody can see what I'm kind of talking about. So yeah, jump on over and smash that subscribe button. And once again, if you've got any purchase needs, please pop over to the old White Dragon Miniature store. Highly recommend the Gamer Grass Tuffs. Really like them. So yeah, fill your cart full, send me loads of money, and let me retire next year. I wish. No, if you ever want to make money, don't join the miniature industry. That's my only advice to you in life. You do it more for the love of it. Yeah, but have a good evening all. I will catch up with you next week, and any questions, comments or anything, fire me either an email, ask on Facebook, or any other social media means. If you're interested in the Discord, let me know. I can quite happily post the link up, and yeah, I will catch up with you soon.